What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And yes, another Halloween video. Another time to get into the mood of Halloween. Now, there are a lot of things to do on Halloween, and most people like to resort to watching movies or scary videos. Everyone has that tradition to watch that one movie or show around this time of year. Could be the Halloween movies, given the name and genre, or any slasher film, as a matter of fact, would do. Or you could browse YouTube and watch Halloween content like you're doing right now to get yourself in the mood. I always like to watch Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. I at least try to watch the Godzilla-thon at least once a year during this time. However, one of my favorite traditions to do on Halloween is watching the Scary Godmother movies. Scary Godmother was a children's book series back in 1997 by one Jill Thompson. Now, there are 2 Scary Godmother movies, but there are like 6 books. 9 if you're counting the collections in the comic. Now, the 2 movies are based off the first 2 books, but that just makes me think that after the second movie, we were robbed of more Scary Godmother. I'm not sure why the 3rd book didn't get an adaptation, but I wish it would have. So given the time frame, it's Halloween night where our group meets up. Now, everyone has names, but Hannah here is actually our main character. But the other kids are Bert, Daryl, Katie, and Jimmy. Jimmy is a bit more important, but not until the second film, so in this one, he's just kind of there with the rest of the kids. Anyways, Jimmy and his goons decide it'd be fun to scare Hannah, so they decide to go into the house in the cemetery. You know how it is. This is called the Spook House, and Jimmy and his gang leave her in the house to scare her. When Hannah starts to cry from being scared, the Scary Godmother appears. And after talking for a bit, she decides to take Hannah back to her world, the Fright Side. The Scary Godmother reveals she's throwing a party where a lot of real monsters start to show up, like vampires, the big bad wolf, the monster under your bed, and an actual skeleton from the closet. That one's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
He's our official skeleton in the closet.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Hannah.
Does everyone have a skeleton in their closet?
Almost everyone, little miss.
Now, there is a plot here to where Hannah keeps meeting the monsters, and it goes back to the kids at the cemetery wondering why Hannah's not coming out. And it doesn't really go anywhere, it kind of just stops right here, and you kind of just focus on Hannah getting to know all of the monsters. I mean, don't get me wrong, some minor things do happen, like Harry the Wolf eating all the food, or a vampire going through a midlife crisis. It's kind of one of those movies where it's just about the party, all the way up until Hannah decides it's time to leave. However, since they wanted to scare Hannah in the beginning, the monsters and Hannah make a plan to scare the other kids right back. The group of kids wonder what's taking Hannah so long, so they enter back in the house, and the monsters have a frenzy and scare the living hell out of all of them. And after doing that, the Scary Godmother gives Hannah a key, so in case she wants to come back, she can.
Here, Hannah.
Will I ever see you again?
Anytime you want to come back to the Fright Side for a visit, just use this key in any door.
And with the monster celebrating, the movie ends. Now, for a little Halloween movie, this is actually not bad. It's actually a really fun time to watch, and given that this was a Cartoon Network TV special, it's pretty good in that regard. The jokes here are on point, and there's actually a lot of hidden gags that help build the atmosphere here, and I just gotta say, it knocks it out of the park. But however, this animation is awful. Now, given that it's an early 2000 CGI film, of course it's not gonna look the greatest and not hold up very well. The characters look really stilted, and overall it just looks pretty rough. But like I said, it's early 2000 CGI, so I'm willing to give it a pass. I don't think the budget was huge on this, and knowing that, I think it kind of adds to the charm of it and really reminds me of the era that this came out in. Well, Scary Godmother did well enough, I guess, that Cartoon Network greenlit a second special. This one was based off the second book, Scary Godmother, The Revenge of Jimmy. So the second one kinda starts out a bit meta, with Harry greeting the audience. Well anyways, it's a year later around Halloween time, and Jimmy, the group leader from the last movie, is now like super scared that Halloween is coming around the corner again. The other kids from the last movie decide to come over, and after realizing how paranoid he is, chalking up the incident last year as bigger kids just trying to scare them, Jimmy insists that monsters are real and declares Halloween to be boycotted by the group. The other kids don't like that very much, so they leave him to his own boycotting. We then cut over to Hannah, who is decorating her room with Halloween decorations till Bugaboo shows up and scares her. Running out of cobwebs, Bugaboo tells her that the Scary Godmother could help her. Taking the offer, Hannah then goes up to her door, taking out the key the Scary Godmother gave her, unlocking the door to warp her to the Scary Godmother world, the Fright Side again. You know, I was gonna comment on this a bit later, but I have to say right now, the animation in this movie is way better than it was in the first movie. All the characters here are animated really fluidly, and the clipping on the models is minimum to none. It definitely still screams early 2000s CGI, but after seeing the first movie, I can definitely see the improvement here. So because Jimmy is boycotting Halloween and wants to pretty much sabotage it, every time the group wants to do something, Jimmy feels the need to want to ruin it, like smashing pumpkins in the middle of the night, going to a store and breaking in and writing poison on all the candy and flammable on all the costumes so no one could get any of that. Jimmy's kind of a dick in this movie. But also when they do this, everyone in the group thinks it's the end of the world. And this actually causes a problem because they're on the Fright Side. If people aren't celebrating or liking Halloween, then the Fright Side will cease to exist. This obviously being a problem for everyone in the Fright Side, Scary Godmother reaches out to Hannah to see if she can try to help bring everyone's spirits back up. And throughout the movie, she does do her best in doing that. Every time there has been a problem, Hannah has always come up with a reason to make that problem a solution. Like because all the candy was labeled poisonous, Hannah came up with an idea to make your own snacks. Because all the costumes were labeled flammable, the developers thought of an excuse to throw every single kid back in the same costumes that they were in last year. Just with different names now. Seriously, check this shit out.
Check it out. Last year I was a baseball player driving his SUV. This year I'm a baseball player driving an electric car. Yeah, even pro athletes gotta take care of the environment.
Last year, I was a cat. This year, I'm a panther. Roar! Oh, right. Well, last year, I was a fairy princess. This year, I'm a fairy queen. How about you, Daryl?
I'm a piece of candy,
That's what you were last year.
but this year I'm sugar-free.
Well anyway, the group of kids decide to throw a party in the spook house. However, what the kids don't know is that Hannah is actually teleporting them to the Fright Side because it's all back to normal by this point. Jimmy then follows them into the Fright Side because he wants to ruin the party, so he steals the grand prize pumpkin so no one can win the Halloween night prize. And he almost gets away with it until Harry catches on that he's trying to steal the candy, and then he runs into Bugaboo, scaring the crap out of him. And because Jimmy is looking real creepy, and that's because early in the film Jimmy's mom was telling him not to make creepy faces and he kept doing it and his face got stuck like that, giving him this weird looking goblin face. Well, since he did manage to scare Bugaboo, Scary Godmother declares him the scariest because he scared the scariest monster. Makes sense, I guess. And after that, everyone shares some candy and the movie ends with Scary Godmother and Hannah riding off on the broom. Again, this is a really fun Halloween movie. It's not as good as the first Scary Godmother is, but this one is still rather fun to watch. I can definitely see how noticeable the production value raise was here, and to that, I have to say, very good. Also, there was a scene in this movie where they just flat out show Scary Godmother's feet, so that at least made someone happy and a fan of this film, so kudos to them. Both of these movies, to me at the very least, are Halloween classics, and every year I at least take some time out to watch them. They're about 45 to 47 minutes a piece, so it's not really much of my time. Now, when reviewing both of these movies, I actually didn't talk about the music, so allow me to do that real quick. Oh my god, the Scary Godmother theme is so iconic. This theme is fucking lit, bro. It's so vibrant, it's so upbeat, it's so Halloween themey. I don't know what it is, it makes me want to dance every time I hear it. It's that good. I did dog on the animation a bit earlier, but re-watching these movies again this year, I really realized that this almost looks like a video game. And playing a Scary Godmother video game, that would be awesome. But hey, if you guys haven't seen these and you're interested in watching them, I definitely recommend them. The Halloween season is upon us, and I can't think of better fun watches than these two. Now, because these are Cartoon Network specials in the early 2000s, I actually caught these on TV a couple times, and it was always a treat to me when it was on. Nowadays, I don't think Cartoon Network is showing this anymore, but hey, if you ever did want to watch them, they are on YouTube. Some YouTube channel called Neo Scary Godmother put up the standard version copies and also a 4K AI render version of the copies for your enjoyment and for preservation of the film, so thank you. I'll never understand why we never got more movies after the second one, because like I said, there were 6 books. That's 4 more stories they could have done, but I guess if those stories are going to be told, they're only going to be told behind some pages. Well guys, that's going to be it for me. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch Scary Godmother at all? Did you guys catch it on TV when it was coming out? Let me know if you guys have any memories with it in the comments down below, and I'll get to you when I get to you. I have an Instagram, I have an X. You can go follow me. Both of those links will be in the description down below. And while you're down there, can I get you to hit that like button? Can we try to get this video up to 10 likes? That'll be much appreciated, and it takes like 3 seconds. And also while you're down there, you might as well just go on ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications, because I wouldn't want you to miss a single upload of mine, and it takes like 3 seconds again right next to the like button, and it'd be much appreciated. Also, if you just feel like going the extra mile for some reason, I have a Patreon, and if you feel like donating, well, you can do that. The link will be in the description down below. Alright guys, you have a fantastic night.